Welcome back. This is James Dewar, your host of the San Antonio Entertainment Show. And today we have an amazing guest. We have the chef owner of Botika, located in the San Antonio Historic Pearl Complex. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So you could have gone anywhere. I mean, I'm looking at your resume here. Geronimo Lopez, and he's a chef and the owner. And you have been all over the world.
Some traveling, yes.
Places I can't pronounce, and you've been head of culinary institutes.
Yeah, I was the executive chef for the Culinary Institute of America here in San
and then you were here. Yeah, you're culinary at other countries, and then here they brought you here. Mm-hmm. And you could go anywhere you wanted to in the world. You could open up your restaurant anywhere. Why did you choose to bring your craft here to San Antonio, Texas?
You know, I was brought here by the CIA back in 2011 to open Neo, which was their restaurant for the Institute. And then I kind of fell in love with San Antonio, you know, and the opportunity arose years later to be part of the Pearl and what the Pearl is doing for the city and the culinary scene, you know. So I couldn't say no to that. It was just such a great opportunity to be able to own a restaurant and do the things that you love to do on a daily basis in such a beautiful environment. So who can't say no?
No. Well, a lot of people could say that. I mean, you know, you think, you know, you're right. The quality of life is so good in San Antonio. People are so warming. Correct. And it's like, there's nothing against Austin, but, you know, like my daughter always says, San Antonio is hip without saying it's hip.
Correct. I agree with that. Absolutely.
And it's a wonderful place. And the Pearl Complex, you're one of the destinations, Botika, that you have tourists from all over the world come here, stay at the Emma, and they come to your restaurant. And then for residents, I mean, you can't beat your restaurant and the local flair. So tell us a little bit about your philosophy in cooking and what you'll experience when you go to Botika.
Yeah, well, you know, I like I said, I travel a lot. I grew up in Caracas, Venezuela, where there was a lot of restaurants from many walks of life, a lot of immigration back there at the time. So you could find from great Lebanese food to great Chinese food to great Italian food. So I was lucky enough to grow up eating a lot.
Okay.
And then when I started cooking, I started traveling, I found those images and those ingredients from all over the world to be linked to the experiences that I had as a Venezuelan, growing up in the Caribbean, growing up in South America. And I found that Asia and South America had a lot in common. So I always was fascinated by how ingredients travel and how you can find them in different cultures. And with Botika coming to life, I focus on what is the Chifa and the Nikkei experience, which is the Chinese, South American, Peruvian more specifically, and the Japanese, Peruvian experience from the huge migration that we had 100 years ago in that region from Chinese and Japanese, and how that cuisine has flourished to the point that it's now a very hip current trend all over the States. So I wanted to start there, my own exploration of those flavors, those ingredients, and I always thought that in a setting like Texas, with all the beautiful produce, the meats, the fish that we have, it was just a good pairing. So that's where the whole idea of Botika came from.
Okay. And I recently went to Japan for a couple of weeks and just loved the food. And it was amazing over there. So if say you have a Japanese tourist come here, would they enjoy your food?
I think so, because, you know, Japan has opened up a lot, and a lot of what the Japanese migration took from Japan to other places came back to Japan now.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So even in 20 years ago, if you would have added mango to a sushi roll, or even a sushi roll in Japan, that would have been very strange. But Japanese people have very good palate, so they have expanded that a lot, and now they embrace those let's say those comebacks on their own culture, you know, the little twists.
And I noticed you brought a bag.
Yes, I did. I got a bag.
You want to show off some of your goodies to the audience? Absolutely. So we're on video. We're on video and audio. We're broadcast on 9:30 a.m. The Answer every Saturday at 5 p.m. We also on our Facebook. Just go to the Facebook. Go to the San Antonio Entertainment Show on Facebook and like us, and you can see videos. Oh my gosh.
So I wanted to bring you guys a little bit of what we do in Botika, and this is our bento box that we do daily for lunch. And what you will find is a little bit of that mix of cultures. I can probably do a little bit of that. So you can see a mix of cultures where you will have southern Chinese style, typical Cantonese style egg roll with cabbage and chicken. And then we had some nigiri, beautiful nigiri with fresh sea bass and salmon. I always like to use some sort of pickle in because pickles are good for you. They're good for digestion and all that. So there's always a pickled ingredient.
Right.
A little simple, fresh green papaya salad with tomatillo dressing in this case, and just white rice. A lot of our food centers around rice, so I am a big lover of just plain, simple steamed white rice. And in this case, teriyaki chicken skewers with a little teriyaki glaze on top. Super simple like that. But this is our lunch offering every day in Botika, more or less.
Every day. This is traveling international, having all the infusion of Japanese and South American cultures all together. This is, I'm getting hungry right now, guys.
Absolutely. So, and this one is our summer roll. And it's quite interesting too, because we, by design, we only buy a certain amount of fish daily, and we don't use any frozen fish. We only use fresh fish. I think there's no excuse for using frozen fish if you live right on the coast like we do.
So you source it from the Gulf of Mexico, or what do you usually try to?
Everything that is white, I use from the Gulf. So a lot of drum, a lot of red snapper, and then I have other fishes that are more popular or common in the sushi world, like tuna and salmon, and those are sourced from different coasts depending on what's going on, but always fresh. So I don't buy more than 10 pounds of fish every day, and then we just use it on what we're doing. And we find that summer rolls, especially with the beautiful weather that we enjoy here in San Antonio, is great for this summers. And we just do a little ponzu with pineapple in-house and yuzu.
And what was the first ingredient?
So in this case, I have salmon, I have tuna, and I have striped bass.
Oh, wow.
Okay, fresh fish. We always use fresh lettuce, rice noodles, and crispy quinoa, some of that in there. And then we just wrap that up in a rice leaf or rice paper.
Right. What I really like hearing what you're saying is you buy 10 pounds of each type of fish, and then once it's gone, it's gone.
Sometimes it's less, sometimes more, depending on what I need, on the day of the week. I just try not to leave fish in my restaurant more than 2 days.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful dining experience then.
Yeah, the idea is to have less variety. If you look at the menu, we only have a few rolls, a few offerings on the nigiri. It's not one of those sushi menus that is like 4 pages long.
Right.
And we try to respect the fish by not adding a lot to it. I don't like adding 4 types of mayo and a bunch of sauce. And if you have fresh, good ingredients, you shouldn't be hiding them behind all those accoutrements.
Okay. And what days are you open for the?
We're open 7 days a week, actually. On Sundays we only do brunch. On Mondays we only do dinner. But right now we're about to open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner all day long, and launch a new all-day menu. But we're normally open from 11 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
And tell people where you are at the Pearl.
So yes, absolutely. We're right in the middle. So if you walk down Pearl Parkway, you're gonna find yourself looking at where the Hotel Emma is and our brothers from Southerly. And if you look to your right side, you're gonna find the fountain and what we call the park at the Pearl, where we do a lot of events and concerts and all that. And we're right there, right in front of all that in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, you're right in the middle of it.
Yes. It's a lot of fun when it's packed, when it's farmers market and you see everybody around it.
So do you get any of your produce from a farmers market?
A lot of it I do. A farmers market, interesting enough, the producers have such a success that they run out of stuff pretty quick. I remember back in the day when we first started, there was a lot of us as chefs helping them get their produce so they could sell it all, because they make a lot of effort to be there every weekend. So we took that. But these days, interesting enough, I set up beforehand. Well, I have a couple of partners, Linda Stearns, she does amazing produce. And we set up beforehand what we want, because if not, it's gone.
You can't count on it.
Yeah, people take it, and that's great.
So And what about how do you pair? What do you pair sake with this type, or do you pair beer, or what do you?
So again, the South American experience when it comes down to cocktails and alcohol, we have three major players: rum, definitely from the Caribbean, from where I'm from,
right,
and then the cachaça in Brazil, which is also made from cane sugar, but it's a different process, and then pisco, that is all the Andean region, and it's a brandy basically made of moscatel grapes, and those three spirits drive our cocktail menu. Although we have tequila and whiskey. And all
what about beers? Do you do beers?
Beers,
does
absolutely.
that pair well with your food? We just, as you know, you ran into Southerly on the way out, and they, of course, talking about pairing with beer a lot. Is that something you recommend with your food?
And we design our beer menu to go with our food, depending obviously on seasonality and weather and all these things. So this time around, for example, in summer, you will find more of the lighter side of the beers, so you can enjoy with the weather and also with this type of lighter side food. As we go into the colder months, then we go for stronger beers that will go stronger.
So tell me, what is your intent when somebody comes in? I want to spend a little more time with you here. We're getting close, but I want to go a little bit beyond our break. Tell me, what do you want the people to experience when they come to your restaurant?
Botika was born through a lot of my own experiences as a South American traveling. So the colors, the ambience, the music, the food, hopefully the whole experience for me, what I want to transmit is that you're in South America for a little bit, in that South America that I grew up that has a lot of migration from other places, a lot of influences, that you can feel yourself a little bit in Asia, but not exactly. That's kind of like the experience that I want people to get. And definitely is a place that has a lot of warm and light, and it's noisy and it's loud and has a lot of ambience to it.
Yeah, and that's exactly the experience I've gotten before when I've eaten there with my wife before. That it's you got the box of the Japanese box, and you have the Japanese type food, but you do have a different flair to it, a different feeling.
Correct.
Completely. So you're right. You hit you have the experiences down packed.
Oh well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So we appreciate you having you here today. It's Geronimo Lopez at Botika at the world famous historic Pearl Complex. Whether you're traveling and you hear us we're driving down the road here, or you go to our website, the San Antonio Entertainment Show, and you listen to one of our podcasts, or you listen to our video, or you see our video, go back and listen to this video one more time. And then think of what Geronimo Lopez talks about, the experience. And let's have an experience when you go out. Let's enjoy San Antonio. Let's enjoy our life. Step 7 is enjoy life. And we definitely need to enjoy life. And I really appreciate you, Geronimo, for being here and for sharing your skills and being here, being a San Antonian.
No, thank you very much for the opportunity. I love San Antonio.
And we look forward to seeing you again.
Yes.